if somebody says, hijo de pucha, que maldito gringo, yeah, then it's offensive. Welcome to How to Expat. My name is Sam, and at How to Expat we help expats relocate. In today's world where definitions count more than the actual thing and everybody gets triggered by different words and race and all these kinds of stuff, I want to address one thing which is kind of solely here in Latin America thing, and that's the word gringo. Is gringo offensive? What does it mean? Where does it come from? That's going to be the discussion in this video. So what does gringo actually mean? So of course you have a dictionary description, but what it's like the boots on the ground, how it is used here in Latin America is kind of the following. So gringo means kind of foreigner from a first world, US, Europe, whatnot. And in the last couple of years it changed a little bit more to not just a white foreigner, but also the let's say the black people are also in the gringo thing. And there's still a big discussion if gringo is just from North America, excluding Mexico, or if it's all over the world, first world foreigners like Australia, Europe also included. But anyway, it kind of just means an outsider, a foreigner from a developed country in general. And where does the word come from? There are many stories out there. The most popular and probably the one that is true is the story of Griego. Griego means Greek in Spanish, and this kind of an expression we also have, it sounds Greek to me, so I don't understand what it's saying, is kind of a gibberish. So this is where the word comes from, like me parece griego or something like that. So for me it sounds Greek, and then Griego turned into gringo. So this is kind of the stories where it came from, but at the end of the day it doesn't really matter too much. So the big question people have, and I see that in the eyes of foreigners or of our clients that we have, let's say on our sneak peek services or on relocation service we offer here in Colombia, is that when I start to talk, and it sometimes happens to me that the word slips gringo. So I tell something, a lot of foreigners come and they behave in a certain way, and usually gringos just behave in a certain way. And as soon as I say gringo, then it's like, I can see it sometimes in the eyes of the clients, like, wow, he said the G word. And then when I catch that and I see like, oh, they don't know how to react, they say he said the gringo word, I always have to explain, like, gringo is not an offensive term, at least not here in Latin America. Let me explain. So the thing is, I know that in the US especially, gringo is kind of frowned upon. It's usually just said in a bad context. But here in Latin America, it's just a way to describe people from the outside. As I said, the definition varies to who you talk to. But for an example, if you say in Spanish, if you say he's from the United States of America or he's American, they don't say es americano, not so much. Here what they say is estadounidense. And as you might hear, estadounidense is kind of a tongue twister. So it rolls easy or way easier off the tongue, the word gringo. So I think that's one of the factors. People just prefer to use the word gringo. And it doesn't mean it's not offensive. It's really not. The thing is, of course, if somebody says, hijo de pucha, que maldito gringo, then it's something different. That means kind of son of this damn gringo. Then it's offensive. But if I'm just here and I'm saying, I saw a gringo walking, crossing the street, that's just a description. That's normal thing here. And that's kind of the Latin culture in general. The Latin culture is not as politically correct as we are used to from our home countries. So it's very common to see, for example, if somebody wants my attention, let's say, it's very common that they say, hey, mono. And mono means kind of white person or light-skinned person. On the other hand, it also means monkey, but it doesn't really have a connection with that specific word. But I could be offended, like, why he's calling me over the street to sell something, hey, white guy, like, but it's just, as I said, not as politically correct. Then another thing is, It could also be like friends that have a friend with darker complexion. They call him negrito or negro, which in the US you get beat up for that. But here it's just, as I said, not as politically correct. Then another thing is if somebody is a little bit fuller, a little bit bigger, it could very well be that their friends call them this person gorda or gordo or something like that, which means kind of, hey, fat person or fatty, which is, yeah, kind of a normal thing here. So yeah, if you come here to Latin America and you want to adapt to the culture, just be aware that the word gringo, as it stands like that, is nothing offensive. It's just how people talk here. And I really like the fact that Colombia is not, or Latin America in general, is not as politically correct. It's just, yeah, a little bit easier the life here than, yeah, in, let's say, our home countries. In my example, Western Europe or the United States. And then one thing, once you're immersed in the culture, you really see kind of to adapt. First, I try to not use the word gringo as much, but now, because I'm just talking to Colombians all the time and I talk with them and things like that, you're gonna adapt to their vocabulary, and yeah, it just will happen to you most probably as well, that the word gringo just comes in to your dictionary also, and I think that's perfectly fine. So let me know in the comments what you think about the word gringo, and if you think it is offensive, if people should use it in Latin America or not. Let me know in the comments, and see you in the next video.